Hello everybody! I just got done training my group at the park and I feel super inspired to share a message that we talked about because it's Friday and I'm going to be sending out a group message to my clients to count their wins from the week. The thing with wins, so first off, wins are going to be anything that you do for yourself that feels good, anything you do for somebody else. Maybe it was talk for a minute. Okay, I think I'm back. My phone is so weird. Anyway, let me go to shade. Maybe it won't be so spazzy. So I love counting wins. I will do them throughout the day, keep track on my phone. It helps me to create a mindset of where I'm not beating myself up, right? Because most people count their scars rather than their wins. If you look back on your week, so for instance, this woman who I'm talking about, it was her birthday week and she got her workouts in. She's been eating way more vegetables than she ever has, and but it was her birthday, and so of course there was some other foods involved and a little more drinking involved. But getting to the end of your week, what most people will do is look back and go, gosh, well, I really didn't do this good enough, and I did too much of that. And what that does is it creates a mindset where you're starting to see yourself as somebody who always makes mistakes, who, you're seeing yourself as, I didn't do perfect, right? And just a lot of non-serving emotional thoughts around being frustrated and disappointed with yourself. And what it will do is start to breed more action. So let me see if I can just stay in the shade and my phone won't be so weird. But then I started to think about it, and I get it, like, it can feel fake to count your wins, because you might count a win in your head, like, well, I did this, but you're going to have a counter thought, right? You're going to go, but I really didn't do good enough there. And so the process of, it's there's something known as spiritual bypassing, right? It can feel a little bit like spiritual bypassing, where you're just like kind of going through the motions and you're saying these words to yourself, but they don't really feel real. You're not really connecting to the win as something that really served you, because in the back of your mind, you're like canceling it out and countering it with telling yourself, well, I still didn't do good enough. And it just feels like, it actually makes you feel more frustrated and disappointed, because now you're trying to count it a win, but it doesn't feel like a win, yada, yada, yada. So I was telling them, I'm like, there is going to be a little bit of fake it till you make it. But what we don't want to do is turn ourselves into positive patties, where we're doing where we're just doing it, but we don't really believe it or feel it. And I think that this is important it's important to understand that there is a concept known as, a fixed or dynamic mindset. So, and I'm going to get to a point, I'll wrap this up and I'll tie it all together. A fixed mindset is a mindset where you don't think you can change. You don't think change is possible, right? You don't think that you don't think you have the ability to get the skills to improve. You just always think you're going to be stuck. And so understanding whether you have a fixed or dynamic mindset, a dynamic mindset is one where you're like, I know change is possible. I know I have the ability to learn. I know that, if I just keep doing the work, if I just keep showing up, I can change, and it's allowing yourself to attach to the idea that you don't have to have all the answers. You just have to understand that change is possible. Be open to the possibility of change. So if you go into counting your wins, whether it's at the end of the day or moment to moment throughout the day or at the end of the week, if you go into this process of change and think, okay, I'm going to go into this with a dynamic, growth-oriented mindset, because you know that change is possible consciously, right? You're only in your conscious mind about 5% of the time. So you want to do this when you're not in the middle of doing 10 other things, right? Because you can't focus on it. You can't be clear. That's too many moving parts. So when you are counting your wins, I suggest taking 5 minutes, breathe for a moment, or maybe you're on a walk in nature, or do it when you're not having to focus on other things. And remember that, all it takes is having a dynamic mindset. First and foremost, if you have that first and foremost, you can go into counting your wins with the belief system of, okay, I know change is possible, and if I keep putting the reps in, things are going to start changing. There is a little bit of trust the process, right? It's being able to trust the process and just commit to doing the work, the very simple work, day after day after day. If you are consistent in doing this simple work and you are doing it with the idea of being intentional with a growth and dynamic mindset, then the process of starting to really see yourself as, oh my God, that was a win, and really feeling excited about it, really being able to pat yourself on the back about it, it won't feel fake anymore, and it won't feel like something you're just saying to yourself. Because, a lot of people are just, we've learned to be cynical, we've learned to be self-deprecating, and all that stuff doesn't serve us, because it's like, we're trying to fit in, and the truth is we're all awesome. The truth is we all can, really be in a blissful, joyful state every day. But that takes practice. And you have those small moments of bliss and joy. So recognize them. Just start recognizing as they come up in your day. Give yourself a thanks. Say thank you for drinking that water. Say thank you to yourself for doing that workout, or for calling that friend and seeing how their day was, or, just really showing up for your kids, showing up for yourself, and live intentionally. It's like hour by hour, just think about what you're going to be doing in the next hour. And remember to count your wins. So there's a little lesson on, just a fixed versus dynamic mindset. Also, how to not spiritual bypass and feel like you're just going through the motions. But really the importance of seeing all the good that you do every day in yourself. Maybe people around you aren't, doing it for you, but we can do it for ourselves. We got to pull our mindset socks up, put in the reps, get an accountability partner, because it really does help. So I hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you next time.